There we go. We're on. Waiting.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It is Boob Tube. Well, actually it's Wednesday. It's hump day, which means it's Boob Tube, and it's not Boob Tube without my lovely co-hosts Casey Carter and Desirable Bottom. Hey ladies. How are
Hey.
you?
Groovy, groovy.
What a week it's been.
Mm.
Have you guys been getting all that rain?
So here it's been warm, but the rain is on the way.
Yeah. It's been like
Lane.
monsoon rain here.
Yeah, we had
So,
like a week and a half straight of rain coming.
wow.
Mhm.
We were having some like really bad forest fires, so we were getting like the haze, like the air pollution stuff.
That is the worst.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it did rain though over the past couple days, so it's been tapered off, which is great too.
Okay.
Glad to hear it.
Oh, that's right. You are in Canada.
It's
Canada,
like those forest fires. I remember Florida had a lot of forest fires, and this was like 20 some odd years ago, and we had been taking the auto train down to Florida, and the train was riding through one of the areas where the trees were on fire, and you could literally see them smoldering, out the window of the train. So yeah, it's kind of
Okay.
so.
So, aside from rain, we are 2 weeks away from Exotica, New Jersey. Exotica, New Jersey. Exotica, Miami.
Welcome to
Welcome to
Miami.
Miami.
Yummy.
Yeah. Are you excited, Casey?
I am low key excited. And the reason I guess I'm saying low key is because I feel like I'm not ready. So I'm, still trying to get it together. I got some stuff in the mail today. I don't even think my outfits for the weekend are complete. Just so I'm not ready. I was so focused on my cruise, I did not focus on Miami.
Miami but I'm not going to lie, Miami flew here.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like we just left Chicago and now it's Miami. It's like
Yeah, it's a lot.
whoever's running the Matrix needs to slow things.
Well, but think about it. In 2021, we were hitting them joints one right after the other in 2021. Because once we came back, boom, baby, we was like, bam, bam, bam,
I
bam.
know. It was tough. It was a lot. It was very, very yeah, it was chaotic because it
Yeah,
was like just as soon as you got ready for one show, it was like, and when I do the fashion shows and all that stuff, like it's a lot more planning. Like I have to be, yeah.
just
So I'm
being.
glad they're spaced out.
Yeah, I was gonna say just being, like I said, ready in general. Trying to think, what do I need to remember to pack? What do I need to remember? What am I taking this time versus last time? Did this time, or just even per location, there are some things you'll take to one location you won't take to
Right.
another. Like for both you and I, Carrie, when we're in that northeast quadrant, we can take the whole house.
Right.
So yeah,
But
you travel
Miami,
different.
see for Miami, I'm driving down, so I'm taking a lot of things with me because, yeah, I have some pretty cool things in tow. But more importantly, I get to pack less because I want to wear less clothes because I'm going to be at that pool. Just saying. I'm going to be at the
Mhm.
pool. I cannot wait to see the iguanas,
Mm.
and I want to go to the beach.
Oh my God. The family of iguanas at the hotel pool is ridiculous. Like, literally, they are residents and we are visitors. Not even guests. We're visitors.
Visitors, right.
Because guests would get treated with a little bit of love. Them iguanas are like, bitch, that's my chair. Get up.
And they will steal your food.
Yeah, well, that's what you get for leaving the food handy. Because that's like in the right location. Oh, speaking of the beach, at the right beach, the right location, them seagulls will swoop down, take your whole sandwich, your whole everything. Not you
Yo,
dropped it. Them joints will come right out, take it right out your hand.
you know what pisses me off? And this is so off topic, but when you're at the beach and someone like is encouraging the kids to feed the seagulls right by
Right by
you,
you.
and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, at first I was like, it didn't seem like a big deal. Like you don't think about it being a big deal because it's just one or two, and you're like, okay. But then as soon as they let out that quack, and the whole crew
Guap.
comes, and
Yep.
you've got like 50 seagulls, and then they're like, quack, quack,
And
quack,
everybody on the
quack.
edges of the crew are like looking at you like, well, what you got? What
She's
you
fat. She got to have something in that bag.
got?
I
Yeah.
could just imagine what that conversation would be like. So yeah, I'm like, I'm just waiting for the shit to come falling from the sky. Like you dumb.
Yeah, that is a okay. Anywho, enough about that. What about TV and the things of the like? Oh, but wait, Kari,
Wait,
you
we got some
throw out
things
some
in the
more?
news.
Yeah, I was gonna say you wanted to throw out some stuff.
I did.
Yeah.
So for those of you that
Let's
know, I
hear
live in
it.
Baltimore, Maryland, and today is well, not necessarily today, but it just passed. Maryland legalizes oral and anal sex.
Kind of foolishness.
I've been committing crimes. I'm a criminal, y'all. I'm a hardcore criminal.
Listen,
Just
there's
saying.
a bunch of y'all. And I guess while I was in Maryland, I could have been arrested.
Whoopsie.
Stop it, Casey.
Mm. But and here's what's funny because we briefly talked about this before the show, and I swear I think some of our pre-show conversation is super interesting. But we were talking about this, and as crazy as this sounds, there are so many states, and Kari, I'm gonna let you mention the one we were talking about, but there are so many states that have laws regarding how we experience sexual pleasure that, quite frankly, you would probably end up arresting half the population, if not more,
More than
because
half the
we're yeah
population.
okay. Oh, I don't know some of them conservatives. I don't.
There's not that many even the conservatives are really not that conservative. It's all a front.
Yeah, some of
It's
them
all a
are.
front.
Some
That's
of
all I'm
them
gonna
are
say.
are definitely freakier than they want the world to know. But point of what I'm saying is, we are all committing some sort of sexual crime based on our pleasure. And
So
Kari, remind them of the one we talked about.
okay, so in the state of Texas, it is illegal to own more than 6 dildos at a time.
Look, I got a bag in
Now,
my closet right now that's got more than six. And that's not the bedside dildos.
no.
That's the travel dildos.
What if you do toy reviews?
Listen, and I want to know, and we talked about this. I want to know whose job is it to come count my dildos. First of all, how do you find out I've got too many? Or when I go to purchase toys, are you somehow tracking? Is Siri dropping dime on me? I mean, seriously, who's telling
Hi.
you I've got more than six?
Hi, my name is Carrie Anthony and I'm with the Dildo Search and Rescue Team.
She did not say search and rescue.
Hi, my name is Carrie. I've been promoted to the Dildo Acquisition Task Force.
I mean, but seriously. Wait, Lorenzo, listen, Lorenzo says that fornication and adultery is still on the DC Code of Offenses. Okay, and let's I mean, first of all, fornication, You do realize fornication is like having sex outside of marriage. We are all going to jail.
If saying I do is a crime, if not saying I do is a crime, I'm fucked.
Ah, we're going to jail. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it and again, this is one of my favorite topics because it is so insane that we have laws on the books like this. I mean, there's a law, I can't remember what state, I don't remember if it was California or somewhere in the Midwest, but there is an actual bona fide law that says a woman cannot cut her hair without her husband's permission.
What?
Yes. Yes. Can you imagine? I got to first talk to Big Daddy to see
Michigan.
if I can cut my. Thank you. See, I told you.
It says a Michigan law states that a wife's hair legally belongs to her husband. A woman isn't allowed to cut her own hair without her husband's permission.
Kind of
And
bullshit.
wait a minute. In Detroit, Michigan, it is illegal to sleep in a bathtub.
See what I'm saying?
What?
What?
Here's what I want to know.
What the hell?
I want to know why, as a congressperson, when you get elected, the first thing that I would do is go through the list of stupid laws and be like, can we get rid of this shit?
Please.
Wait. Here's what's interesting, Kari. And this particular one is obsession of mine. In North Carolina, up until a couple of years ago, it was not illegal to pursue someone if they said no. So in other words, we teach people no means no. If I say no, that's it. Full stop. We're done. But in North Carolina, if I said no after we had started to engage and you decided not to, you could not be criminally charged for continuing. Now, to your point about if you were in Congress and what you would do, honey, there was a man who was killing himself to try to get his fellow Congress people to make this change. The minute he started talking about what the law was, folks was like, "Oh, no, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that." This was so serious in North Carolina. There were legal professionals, actual attorneys whose sole business was to defend people who were charged with rape based on that law. That was their job, was to defend them against the charge.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Well,
mind blowing.
That just made me all hot and sweaty. I'm so mad about
Yeah,
that.
let's try this again. We're trying to add some like fun facts to our shows and you know some other elements that we used to do back in the day, but we've kind of kind of veered left. Today, celebrating their birthday, Kathy Bates, Mel Brooks.
How old is Mel Brooks?
Mel Brooks was born in 1926.
God damn. That makes
Kathy
him old.
Bates, 1948.
Yeah, but Mel Brooks. Wait, think about this. I want you to think about this. Mel Brooks, you said, was born in 1926.
So
it is
97 years old.
2023 right
now. Wow. Yeah.
97. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I would say today in history. Oh, wait. There was a fun fact. Today in history.
Yes.
1997, in a boxing match for the heavyweight title, Mike Tyson was disqualified after he twice bit Evander Holyfield's ears. As a result of the infraction, he temporarily lost his boxing license.
Oh.
So if you don't remember that,
you must not have been born.
Crazy. I remember.
You must not have been born if you don't remember that one.
Sleeping under a rock.
But it's worth a Google.
A Google. I love it. Say it again.
It is worth a Google for sure. Oh my God.
We could add that to Vietnamese.
Yeah, it's worth a Google.
It's worth a Google. Only in Canada could you say it like that.
I love it.
Okay.
So
anyway.
Before we go any further, I think we need to take a moment, a pause for the cause, And first, let's shout out everybody that's here in the chat room. Lorenzo, Jason, Whitney. We have I saw a new name in here.
Yeah.
Goat James. Hello,
Yeah.
Goat James. Edson. And I saw something, thought I saw somebody else, but I guess it was the goat guy. Goat James. Goat James said, "Hey, ladies." And then we also have to take a pause for the cause so you can show us your book promo.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
Surprise.
Okay,
Let's
so
do it.
I've talked about this before. I wrote a book with my mom and my sister, and it is official. The book will be available on Amazon July 18th in both paperback and Kindle ebook. And it is called "You Can't Get a Racehorse Out of a Mule." So I got a couple of the crazy sayings from the book here for you.
You can't get a racehorse out of a mule. Sex is a superpower. A liar is a thief.
So that's the kind of stuff I grew up with, y'all. That's how my mom used to talk to me. And I'll be honest with you, there's some other things that she said, but I'm just not sure YouTube would not kick us off if I, and I think I've played some of the other ones on my show, but since this isn't my show, I'm not going to take that risk, but
Could you imagine? I can just hear it now on a call with Jay. You guys have only had the show for 1 month, and you guys managed in 1 month to get kicked off. I've been on there for 3 years as your wonderful hoster with the moster, and you guys get kicked off
in 1 month. Yeah. So, but I'm super excited about it because while it's a book filled with sayings, the sayings are really kind of they kind of help you. They're like self-help. It's sort of very it's the kind of advice you would want your mom to give you when you're growing up. It's filled with stories that correlate to some of the sayings. It even has, and this was a surprise to me, I didn't find this out until mom wrote her this particular passage, but I found out that my mom had, as she calls it, a brush with suicide. And she talks about things you find out at 53. And she talks about what it was that drove her to that moment. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it was, but let's just say it would have been very dramatic. Would have been very, very, very dramatic. But I don't know, it's something that has been a long time coming. We've been writing it for years and just finally said, let's do it. And if I told you the last 6 months we've been editing, so you know how you're like, there's got to be a reason this is so hard. This is like this. When I tell you, this book isn't even long enough for it to have taken 6 months to edit. But every time we thought we had it ready, it wasn't. And so I'm super excited because originally the release date was going to be June 30. And we had to change it because there was still some things wrong. So I'm super, super, super excited. I am going to have copies of the book in Miami.
I want my autographed copy, please.
Yeah, I will have copies in Miami. Like, that is my whole focus is going to be the book and the crazy stuff my mama said. Because I'm dying to hear. I don't know, ladies, if you have anything now or if you want to think about it for when we do next week's show. But I'm sure you've had a mom, an auntie, a grandma, or somebody who said something to you that made you go, really? Seriously? I mean,
true.
I don't remember a whole lot, but I could probably,
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you think about it, there's probably something that somebody said to you growing up that stuck with you. But in the moment, I mean, because I literally used to be like, okay, lady, please stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking.
Would you say that doing this book with your mom made you guys closer?
We're already super close.
Yeah, I
So,
figured, but I was
yeah,
just
no,
wondering.
I mean, because my parents live in the same community with me, and we're super close. And I think it I learned things I didn't already know. Like I said, the suicide story, I didn't know that. And again, I don't want to give it all away, but there's something about the suicide story that fast forward, a few decades, several decades,
We
and
can't say the S word.
oh,
We're not supposed to say the S word.
okay. So fast forward, and you know, there's something that happens in my 30s that apparently, based on her story, correlates back to that moment in time. And so it
Oh,
yeah, it was
wow.
interesting. I even learned something about my sister I didn't know. Because my
Hmm.
mom is very open about sex, very extremely open about sex. And there's a story, and to my point, my sister tells a story about how she lost her virginity and told all her friends she was going to talk to her mom because she now thought maybe she might be pregnant or something like that. So she was just going to talk to my mom, and all her friends were like, "Wait, what? What do you mean you're just going to tell your mom you just had sex?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna just tell her." So she did.
They're
My
like,
sister,
I'm trying not to tell. I don't want anybody to know.
Right?
exactly. No, but
Right.
that is the relationship that she fostered with us. Was she talked about it so much, she made it such a normal part of life that my sister was like, "Yeah, no, I'll just go ahead and tell her because I need to go get checked and do all the things." And so they had this conversation, and then my mom took my sister to get birth control, and then life moved on. And I'm like,
Yeah, my mom was the exact opposite. I learned about it by doing it.
well, and if I were to say that my mom had been talking to me about sex since I was 5, like consciously talking about it, had books with illustrations. I was 5 years old when I had this collection of books, and when my daughter was 5, American Girl dolls, they had this book collection, and the I bought her one of these books that it was like all about me, I think is what the book was called. And it talked about periods, it talked about, you know, genitals and all of that. And it was my daughter's favorite book. And she wanted to take it to school on the day yeah. There was a day that you got to bring your favorite book to school, and she wanted to take that one. I'm like, ooh, no, baby. I'm glad that's your favorite book, but we can't take
Excuse
that one to
me.
school.
What are you doing with the joy of sex? Please
Okay, we
share
can't
with
take that
me.
one to school, honey bunny. We gotta pick another book.
Because not for nothing, that the joy of sex was the first, like, aside from like Playboy, obviously, the joy of sex was the first book that I like found and was like, oh, okay, interesting.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. So,
So
so yes, thank you all for indulging.
congratulations.
Thank you for indulging me. And
So make sure you check out Amazon for
July
this
18th.
book.
Yes,
July 18th.
if you're at Exotica, you'll be able to get your book early because
Get
the
your signed
18th,
copy.
the 18th is after Exotica Miami. And I'll be honest, I did that on purpose.
I wonder why.
Well, because
And the second issue of iHeart BBW magazine is on its way. Our
mm.
summer and swimsuit edition.
Oh, and the second installment of the Exotica interview will be in ASN in July.
Oh, yay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sweet.
We've had a busy 24
So
minutes
much
of,
going on.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So,
Oh,
without
Oh
further
yeah.
yeah.
And
ado,
that being said, there's a picture. Okay, so I'm gonna say this. There's a picture. This particular part of the article, there's mention of what they did during COVID, and there's a picture of Kari and I at, I think it's Chicago. But what the reason I chose that particular picture is because Kari had her iPad, and there was an episode of BoobTube running on her iPad. So you see me and Kari, and then on the iPad you see me, Kari, and Desiree. I thought the picture was so
Aw.
perfect. Mm-hmm.
Aw, thank you.
Okay. Anywho, all right. Now I'm gonna stop talking.
All right. So let's start with what we've watched on TV. Don't everybody jump at once.
Desiree, you go. I ran my mouth long enough.
Yeah, I don't mind. I can go first. Okay, so I ended up watching The Little Mermaid. I
Oh.
really,
How was
yeah,
it?
it was good. Even though it's like, the same old story that we're used to, like, growing up. But it was good. Yeah. I really enjoyed the cast, how they switched the cast up, because they
Mm-hmm.
put a mixed race person.
Mm-hmm.
Or is she African American? Put her in the lead role, which is great to see. She played it very well, I think, and just like the vibes and like the connection between them, and then how like the witch came in and she like stole her voice and stuff. You guys know the whole riff raff, so yeah. So she came in, she tried to their whole riff raff. She tried to like con Ariel, into switching her voice with the witch, and then she was gonna give her legs, but she couldn't speak, but it was great.
Probably
though.
gonna give her head, but they changed it to leg.
My, oh my.
Now that it's legal under the sea in Maryland,
Hello.
Right?
either that or anal.
One or the other. Now that it's legal.
You can have one without the other. You remember that song?
Oh my goodness.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good though. I'd say, it's if you don't want to go like see it in theaters or whatever, you guys can wait, but it's
So did you see it in the theater?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Go ahead, Desiree. Casey.
Okay, so I watched let's see. Okay, so I watched this comedy special on Netflix called 85 South Ghetto Legends.
Oh, with the DC Young Fly, the guy that just lost his girlfriend or wife.
Okay, yeah, well they didn't talk about any of that on there, but
yeah, this was filmed before that, but
okay. But so
Okay.
What's interesting is I was not familiar with any of these guys, and apparently they have a super hugely successful podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so
they're all from Wildin' Out.
Well,
or most of them.
One of them, the tall, skinny one, apparently was a what do you call it? Social media. Which one would TikTok? I think they found he was from TikTok or something. Like they talked about which of the where their various whatever, because I think one of them had been on Last Comic Standing, and so they all have various backgrounds, and a couple of them I think did do some time on Wildin' Out. So they were funny. They were very funny. But what was interesting is because they're basically a podcast, it was them doing the podcast live, right? So like there was no real set. There was no real plan. They just did stuff. And that was interesting to watch, because you're used to most comics having a set, right? Like they have a series of jokes that they're going to tell, and there's a little bit of ad lib somewhere for some reason, but in this instance they just rolled with it, literally rolled with it, and so that was very interesting to watch. But yeah,
did they blend?
Legends. It was definitely some ghetto legends, not gonna lie.
Yeah, did they blend good together? Yeah. Because, some people don't. Like, it's awkward or it's weird or...
Hello?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, what happened?
Are we muted?
No,
Hello?
I don't know what that was. My Siri started talking. Ain't nobody asked her to say nothing. Can you hear me?
Oh, Lord. Yeah, we
Hello?
can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Somebody need to tell her to mind her damn business.
Siri, shut the fuck up. How about that? Was that aggressive enough? Did that like convey your message?
I don't even know why this bitch chimed in. She had nothing to contribute to the conversation.
They're listening.
Yes.
They're listening.
Anyway, 85 South, Ghetto Legends. If you ain't got nothing else to do.
Got it.
Got you.
So I've been watching Black Mirror.
Ooh.
I hadn't gotten
Very.
past the first one yet, so tell me how you liking the rest.
They're good. So far, my favorite one is Maisie Day. But I love stories with a twist.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when you start watching something and it's like you can just be like, okay, girl finds boy, falls in love with boy, he's not interested, she gets a makeover, now he's in love with her, she doesn't want him any. Like, I hate when you can predict everything that's going to happen. So the great thing about Black Mirror is that these are stories that are like about like AI technology or the Matrix or these like make-believe dimensions and shit like that. So the first one that you saw was Joan is awful.
Awful.
And I'm not going to go into too much detail about like the story because I don't want to give it away, but it's basically like an actor, like you said when we talked about it before, it's like an actor plays your version of you, and it's just like it's weird. But I did like Selma in it, Selma Hayek.
Mm-hmm.
I did like it was different. I like that lately I've been seeing Selma Hayek like. Did you hear that?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
What was that?
I don't know. Something exploded.
Oh, is that what that sound was?
That was outside.
Dude. And it's funny because Jason made the statement, I miss Jay's sound effects. Well, apparently we got some natural born sound effects happening.
Has decided to fill in for Jay.
Okay.
And interrupt my discussion of Black Mirror. How rude.
Yeah. I was going to say, because it was definitely clear as day over here on this side of the camera. So, yeah.
I have earphones on, but I could hear it through the microphone. So I was like, I know you guys heard it. That was crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
On this week's episode of Boob Tube.
Things explode in the background.
Right. Siri is trying to interject into the conversation.
And things explode in the background.
Desiree is going to Google.
Google. It's rather Google.
She's going to Google in Vietnamese.
Oh my God. In Vietnamese, no less.
And Kari, rest in peace, exploded. Could you imagine like if it really was like a serious like explosion that took me out and we were live?
That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
Please don't say that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean it in the dismal way. I'm just saying like it would be crazy that, you know, poor Exotica's channel would explode literally because everybody would come to watch like what happened. They'd just be like, what happened to Platinum? It'd just go dark.
That's
scary.
Okay.
Those are the sirens. Okay, so yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I don't know what it was. But let me not be like most white people in horror films and go investigate, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Because then you know your ass about to get got. So thank you for not being that person.
I was watching something and they were talking about white people are always the first ones to go investigate. Just leave that shit alone. When it comes to you, it comes to you. But I was like, that's hilarious.
Let me go see what that was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think there's a serial killer in our basement. I'll go down there and see where he's at.
Anyway.
All right.
Yeah. Desiree. When the conversation goes left.
But
All right,
Okay, I'll
Desiree,
talk
back
about
to you.
yeah. We'll talk about The Idol. Did you guys watch it?
Oh, I haven't
No, I
seen the
haven't
most
watched it
recent
yet.
episode.
Hold on. I gotta put it on my list because I haven't updated my list since
What was it? May we determined? Yeah, Kari was doing her let me see what I watched list and what I'm gonna watch list.
the
She
last one was
says
from May
all the stuff she
17th.
read off. I'm like, I think that was last month. Like
All right,
early
The
last
Idol.
month even.
So it was good.
Okay, sorry.
Desiree's like, can we talk about it now?
Yeah, it's okay.
Like Kari's
It's okay.
stupid old list.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it was good. They ended up like making her be more like in tune with the music. They have like everybody like trying to see like where everybody's coming from because they have like a lot of people in the house now and stuff, and then they're trying to see like where they're at because like some people are snakes and shady, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're
Like
trying
the
to see
weekend.
like are they in it for her or are they in it just for their own personal reasons or what, or for their own fame and fortune and stuff like that as well. So there was this one guy and he was like singing in the shower, and the Weeknd's character, he ends up hearing him sing and is like, why did you stop singing? So then he went into this whole rabbit hole deal with like Jocelyn's mom, like they abused me and all this and that. And there's like a whole story that unraveled, but it wasn't true apparently. So she ended up getting a shock collar that you put like on a dog. And they put that around him and was like, did you say this or not? Like, is this real or not? Oh, yeah. And it real like he went through all like these questions, and like Jocelyn was there, like she was sitting there like crying because she knew like half of this stuff he was saying was not true, it was fake, right? So she was like, it's not true, like shock him. And then he ended up shocking him like a couple times where his voice was like it seemed like it was like paralyzed, like he couldn't really speak anymore. And then so he was just there like lying on the ground, and then the other gentleman was like, I'm gonna like a couple days go by or whatever, and he's like ends up cleaning him up, blah, like giving him a like a sponge bath, and he's like, I'm gonna let you go. He's like I have remorse for you and I just want to let you go. And like if you're not here for the right reasons, then you have to go. You just
Wow.
like, what's the point, right? Yeah. So it's crazy.
It is a very I don't know if I've mentioned, I kind of feel like this show reminds me a lot of that USA show called Sinners, where there's like a regular story happening, but there's all this unusual, kinky thing going on in the background. And it's funny because I say if you're not into kink, you will completely miss the kinky shit going on. Because
Yeah.
it's
And there
all
was
of,
a lot of it. There
it's
was a
not
lot of it
always,
this episode too.
it's
Really?
not all blatantly obvious, but when that's your thing, or when you're aware and knowledgeable, you're like, oh, that's some kink shit right there. That's And I told you after the first episode that I watched, I was like, "Oh yeah, you got me," just because I think y'all doing some stuff. Um, yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna definitely have to check it out because the minute you said dog collar or whatever, I was like, "Ooh, them some kinky bees, boy. Them some kinky bees for sure."
And the ex-boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend comes back too. So that's all I'm gonna say. You guys have to check it out. Stay
Okay.
tuned.
Yeah.
The Idol.
I'm gonna have to get
Go
caught up.
see it on Google.
It's worth a Google.
Desiree,
Check it out.
I love you.
Mm.
I love that you are just so easygoing. You're just like, cool. All right, Casey.
We need.
Okay, so I watched Never Have I Ever. I don't know if you've all watched Never Have I Ever. It's on Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah.
Fourth
I haven't seen it.
season. And I so I have to admit, part of why I watched it originally was because the star of the show was this young Indian girl. And when you watch her as the main character, oh my God, she's so good. She is so good. Fully invested in her character, in her storyline. I mean, she's a train wreck, and at the same time, she fully owns being a train wreck, and she's brilliant she's academically brilliant, and at the same time she is socially inept. But I love her. I am so in love with this character. And the fourth season I sort of binged watched, because I watched it thinking, was I this sex crazed when I was a teenager? I don't think I was, but the whole premise behind the show when it started was she was trying to figure out how to get laid. Like, that's all she wanted to do, was get laid, lose her virginity. She wanted to be that girl. And third season, she finally gets laid. And so the fourth season, which is what's out now, it's a lot about her relationship with the guy that she lost her virginity to, and her desperate need to get into Princeton.
Okay.
And it's great. It's really, really good. I absolutely loved it. So Never Have I Ever, highly recommend a watch.
Follow up on Mayans. I did watch the episode last week, and there's rumors that this is the last season, and you can tell when they're winding down to like finalize the story. And yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking because I like it.
Oh, okay.
But it's funny because unrelated but kind of related. I've been talking about like the fashion show at Exotica and like the iHeart BBW stuff, and like we're growing exponentially fat. Like we're just growing, right? And it's becoming more and more difficult to like select models because as the applications grow, like, trying to pick 15 to 20 models out of a group of 100 to 200 models is not easy, especially when you're trying to diversify the lineup, give everybody a fair chance, not use the same models all at the same time. Like it's a tough place to be because you've got that loyalty to the people who have been with you all along, but then again, you also want to give the opportunity to new faces. So what that has to do with the Mayans thing is we were talking about like a sponsor program, because like on the Mayans, in order for you to get into the bike club, you have to have been sponsored in by someone who's already an established member. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to do this where you get sponsored, like SOA. And my girlfriend was like, are you talking about Sons of Anarchy? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, you're too much. But very true. It would definitely make people accountable and make them more reliable if they knew that somebody else's reputation and ability to participate was on the line as well. So yeah, Mayans.
Yeah, I mean, it's, when you think about it, it's basically the person is vetted in advance of their application being submitted. And in kinky society, you can't sometimes get into certain parties, become a part of certain groups if someone does not, if you can't be vetted. Right. If you can't be vetted, right? Like if you submit an application and they can't find anybody who can say, yeah, they're good, that's like an automatic disqualification. And you probably could be good for the group, but somebody has to be able to vouch for you. So vetting sometimes
Is
you
it
know,
ching?
yeah. I mean, it's
I'm
like I was gonna
I'm
say
just trying to
vetting.
find an easier way to do this, and I feel like that's probably the best.
It's probably not going to make it easier in the full sense of that term, but it'll probably make the choices better, right? Like the pool of people you choose from will probably be better because you know, as you said, most people aren't going to submit the name or co-sign for someone who's an asshole, right? Like
Right?
I wouldn't,
Respect.
you know, I wouldn't co-sign on somebody who I know isn't reliable, you know,
Right.
is, you know what I'm saying? So
It's like referring somebody for a job. You're not going to refer somebody that you know doesn't show up for work or
is always
smokes
high
and
when
drinks
they
on the
come to work.
job.
Right.
Yes, yes. Or is a habitual not going to do the job, but will be there first thing for payday type shit. Like, yeah,
Right.
I don't refer anybody to anything because I'm not willing to put my reputation on the line when I know people don't have the same type of drive and commitment and ambition that I do. And it's not to say that other people are like I'm better than anybody else. I just know what I'm capable of, and I can't put my chips on the table to bet on someone and hope that they don't fuck it up.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny because I remember one time um I was at this line dance class and there was a woman who was working for the county school system. She was a teacher in one of the schools, and another one of the ladies in the line dance class was looking for a job. And so I was like, "Hey, Mary is looking for a job. Do you think you can refer her?" And she was like, "Well, yeah, I can, you know, I can tell her who to call, but don't use my name." I'm like, kind of bullshit is that?
Oh.
Like, what do you mean don't use my
Date
name?
anyone?
Do you know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, I almost didn't even want to give her the information because I'm like, if having that referral, having that person on the inside say, "Yeah, I know Mary, she's good," is what it's all about. But if you don't want
Right.
anybody to know you know Mary, I don't know if you're suspect or if you think Mary is suspect. Because if you think Mary is suspect, don't give me the information at all. Just don't give it to me.
Exactly.
I'd
Exactly.
It
rather
sounds like
that.
she had something to hide.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because that was
Like
my
two
thought.
worlds collide.
That was
Is
my
you
thought.
messing with
Like,
somebody's husband?
I don't know. But
Ooh. Ooh.
anywho, where were we? Where did we leave off? I'm sorry. We were like just easily distracted today, I think. You with us, Kari?
Uh-oh.
Yes, sorry, I got a
Okay.
text.
I thought you were frozen.
I am
Me
frozen.
too.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm looking at
Frozen
the
in
YouTube.
time. Let it
I
go.
was
Let it
looking
go.
at the YouTube channel.
Okay. All right. So,
So
wait,
yeah,
who
I
went
did get
last?
a
Was that
text.
you, Kari, or was that Desiree? That was you, Kari?
I was last.
It was
yeah.
her.
I think
Yeah.
my end.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you did
Which
say my answer.
means, oh, you got something else? Go ahead, Casey.
I do.
Input.
Oh, about the Mayans? No, I don't have anything else about the Mayans.
Oh, it's your turn. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I didn't know if you were getting ready to say something. Okay, so because I couldn't remember everything I watched, and I still do have some things on my list that I did watch, but I want to talk about something that I want to watch, which is a program called Chevalier on Hulu. And hold on, because
Ooh.
I saved the info on this one. I caught the promo and was fascinated. So it says Chevalier is the illegitimate son of an African slave and a French plantation owner named Joseph Bologna. I'm gonna jack this up, and it looks like baloney, so I'm just gonna say baloney. Fuck y'all if I got it wrong. Rises to
I
improbable
love
heights
it.
in French society as a celebrated violinist slash composer and fencer, complete with a love affair and a falling out with Marie Antoinette. So I saw the promo for
Ooh.
this. I was utterly fascinated because it's like I think they promo it as like the untold true story. And it's interesting because they're, this is during a period in time where they wear the white wigs, and he's clearly of African descent when you see him, but he's also a brilliant violinist. And you see that, as they run this promo, you see him moving through French high society based on this talent. And then there's a scene where you get to see him with his mother, who was clearly African, like very brown skinned African. And then there's another scene where you see him engaging with Marie Antoinette. And throughout the promo, part of the promo is to put on display his talents, and the other part of the promo, or I should say a second part of the promo, is about him and sort of being rebellious as an African, an African person. And then there's another part of the promo where it's about, you can't do what you're doing. Don't forget you're not one of us, if you get what I'm saying. And so it's fascinating.
No likey.
Yeah. Well, it's fascinating because I'm intrigued by the story. And really, really want to see it because it's this reminder that for as far as we've advanced, there are still some things that are very much the same. And they love this man's brilliance. They celebrate his brilliance, and yet they dislike who he actually is as a human being. So, Chevalier, Hulu, check it out. I'm checking it out this week. I'll let you know what I think next week.
Okay, sweet.
Woo-wee. Desiree, what else you got for us?
Elemental. I watched it's like cartoony, but I watched it. It's like about like earth, air, fire, water, and there's like these little elemental characters, and they try and coexist, but they can't because they're like water puts out fire, so they can't really. But they end up falling in love, and it was such a cute story.
Okay.
So they had like the fire family. They tried to like open up a shop, and the dad did it, and it was like the daughter wanted to like take over the business, but then the water character like ended up popping in like the pipe somehow. It was cute though. It's a movie, so right now it's in theaters, but it's gonna come out. Yeah, it's gonna come out to online near you soon.
Okay, here's what I want to know, Desiree. Did you go to the movies and just sit in there and watch all the movies?
That's what I was thinking. No. Literally, I just thought, wait, how many movies did Des see this week in the theater?
3.
I know people that do that. I know people that'll go into the first showing and stay and watch every movie in the theater, and by the time, or at least as many as they can get in before the last showing. And I'm like, you don't go to sleep? Like, I don't have that much attention span.
I didn't even know we could still get away with that in this day and time, the way they be clearing people out after the movie's over.
I'm sure your phone gives them some sort of GPS, like time stamp that's... Ma'am.
I'm just saying, unless
you've been in here for 4 hours.
You make that bathroom break, and then you walk into the next theater,
Oops.
You can.
Anyway, we're not trying to tell you how to sneak into the movies. That's not what we're doing.
No, not at all. We're not saying we've ever done it, and we're not saying to do it. We're not condoning that type of criminal behavior. What we're telling you to do is have more than 6 dildos in Texas.
and you can use them anally and orally in Maryland.
I'm a part of the Dildo Acquisition Task Force.
That's when we need the boom, boom, boom. FBI, open up one.
Put your dicks in the air. I mean, dildos.
She did not say put your dicks in the air. Oh my God. See what happens when Jay's not watching?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Well, it is that time of the show. Thank you everyone for joining us. But we got some stuff to share with you.
Okay, starting
Don't
with
we?
this one.
Make sure you come out July 14th through the 16th to Miami, Florida for EXXXOTICA's second show of 2023. November 3rd through the 5th in Edison, New Jersey, and December 1 through 3, the 1st through the 3rd in Washington, D.C., my backyard. And then September 29th to October 1st, 2023, also in Edison, New Jersey. It is the 420 Expo, year 2. So come check out what's new and thriving at the 420 Expo.
Okay, sorry. And thank you,
We got
Desi,
it this
for
time,
the
y'all.
Thank you, Desi, for this next promo.
Yes, Desiree.
Excuse me, Casey.
Make sure you come check us out, Exotica at Sea, March 6th to the 10th, 2024. Day 1, Miami. Day 2, Key West. Day 3, Bimini, Bahamas. And day 4, back in Miami on the Exotica at Sea adventure.
Okay. All right, so hold on while I figure out how to turn that off. Okay. Oh, I figured it out.
Okay.
Hey.
And last, but certainly not least, make sure you follow all of the names, social media, and links in our pink boxes. Yes, they are pink. Always have, always will be.
They're all pink, irregardless of what you think.
Right. Here, all of our boxes are pink, and that makes us family.
That's right.
Oh my God.
What was that, Casey?
Don't even ask me if whether or not I was licking my box.
Well, excuse me, but can you lick my box too?
Wait, hold on.
Apparently,
I can't.
Oh, that's Desiree's box.
Yes.
That's me. Okay, let me come over here. Casey, Casey, you been drinking wine?
And again,
that's hilarious.
When Jay's not around.
Yeah, he didn't cut us off. All of a sudden, we heard dun 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 dun.
Okay, and wait, hold on. Let me do this. Jason, this is for you.
Not Damon.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Not Damon. Not Damon.
Desiree, you got to do Chewbacca.
Okay, here's what I need. Des. I need you to record your best Chewbacca so we can run that joint.
Okay, I'll try. I'll do my best.
I have
I'll get
the
it for
snippet somewhere from the first time. I need to go get that because she did a pretty good Chewbacca.
Okay, if you can find it,
Okay.
send it to me. I will include it in all of our little sound effects here.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I gotta.
Her Chewbacca has been sick lately.
Hold on. Jason loves our pink boxes. I can't even tell where this is on the screen.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, well, if you are watching us live, make sure you subscribe, like, follow, and share. Or if you're watching the replay, we would love to see your comments and information. I lost my train of thought. Desiree, you killed me. You killed my train of thought. Make sure you follow us on social media and leave us a comment so we can hear what you guys are watching on TV and in the movies. Don't stay all day like Desiree, but we want to say thank you for watching us. Thank you for everyone that was in the comments tonight, and thank you for everyone that'll be in the comments in the future. Until next week, same time, same bat channel, Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Back to you, Casey.
Hold on. Wait, where's my next scene? Wasn't ready.